Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to BSG Lustrum. We've got a couple of runs left for you guys. But yeah, next up is I'm just gonna go with RKFS because I'm going to butcher the name otherwise. So yeah, let's give it up for YumeTsubasa and RKSF or Rosen. I'll just let you pronounce it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's Rosenkreuzstilette Freudenstachel. It's
Yes,
a German
that.
name, also known as the German-sounding Mega Man game in BSG, I guess. But yeah, I would say let's go, and I'm gonna talk during the run as good as I can. But yeah, so let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, Rosenkreuzstilette Freudenstachel. That this game and also me as the runner is here for this has to do with a lot of coincidences. The TLDR is basically Crew started all of the coincidences and the rest is Kuko's fault. That being said, when did we meet for the first time, Cruel? That was at ESA Summer 17, right?
That sounds very plausible. I will admit I do not remember.
It's been a long time.
It sure has been. But yeah, ESA 17 definitely sounds like a very likely
I mean, that was
moment.
the
I
ESA
remember,
right before the first BSG annual, right?
yeah, that was like 3 weeks before the first BSG annual, and I remember I've definitely talked to quite a few people about BSG at ESA at the time, so I wouldn't be surprised if you were one of them. But like I said, I honestly wouldn't even remember.
Well, so how that story started, I remember I was playing Pokemon Puzzle League in the first stream room of ESA, and you and Box actually were standing behind me, watching me, and that's when we started talking with each other, because you introduced yourselves as Pokemon runners at the time.
I mean, to be fair, I'm still a Pokemon runner.
Fair, fair. But yeah, we started talking a bit, and somehow we got to randomizers and then to the past randomizer. And you invited me to BSG annual to commentate on the race between you and Seven Sins together with Kuko. And yeah, there I was at the first BSG annual. I actually got to run something, not the game that was planned. Pokemon Puzzle League, god damn it.
You did that as a backup, didn't you?
I did Pokemon Puzzle Challenge or that was planned as a backup, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the game / console didn't work together. That someone brought and I brought the game, and someone brought the console, or someone else was supposed to bring the console and that didn't work out, and then Shuri brought his Pikachu N64 and it didn't fit because I had like the English card from Drogi and he had the European N64. That didn't work with each other, sadly.
Right, yeah, the region exclusivity part.
Yeah, so I in the end played Pokemon Puzzle Challenge on your 3DS.
Now GBA, wasn't that the on GameCube?
Was it the GBA on the GameCube?
Yeah, I didn't have a 3DS at the time, so
okay.
but I had a GBA EverDrive. I think that's
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, and I was nervous as all heck at that time because nothing went how it should. But yeah, also Sita butted in and was like, you could have just told me I have both anyways. Sita, I love you. But yeah, so yeah, I was there for a first time. My first run didn't go very well, sadly. But the commentating was very fun, especially both of you not getting that first sword in Eastern Palace at the Vanilla Big Key chest. I remember that still. That was quite a thing.
Yeah, wasn't that a seed that
Oh
was
no,
supposed to be very doable and then suddenly became really difficult, or was that one of the other ones?
Yeah, there. I think Zeta talked about that in the Link to the Past run, that there were. Oh no, wait, that was with Zeta, not the one with Seven Sins. That was the year after, I think.
Yeah, we've done so many of those,
It's
but sometimes it's hard to keep track.
it certainly is. I want to say that my memory is usually pretty good, but right now I'm also having a bit of a knot.
And to be fair, this has all happened years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking 2017 at this point, so.
That's true. Yeah, then the year after, the big rise of RKSF started, which also was a funny story.
Annual 18 is where you showed this off for the first time.
Yep.
And it's kind of become the staple run, where if we get Yume, or I think when we were making the list for the Lustrum, it was kind of we kind of immediately knew, okay, we gotta ask Yume for RKFS.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. It's like on most marathons I already did this at this point. Even though, yeah, Mega Man games are totally not my forte. It's also not like I'm a Mega Man runner. Like, this is the first and only Mega Man game that I've ever played, to be honest. But yeah, there I got to BSG, I think, to actually show off Pokemon Puzzle League that time. And also, like with Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, I don't know what's with your streams and the Pokemon puzzle games, but both times the stream died like 5 minutes into the run.
Yeah, it's just cursed.
Yeah, I guess so. And then, yeah, the whole BSGB's arc started.
Oh yeah, that was an adventure and not a good one.
Yeah, I remember me being up at like 6 in the morning for whatever reason that I don't know why ever I would be up at 6 in the morning at such an event. And a very panicked Cruel was there, like, well, basically everybody is sick and I need someone to make a schedule so that things can go on and we don't have to shut off the stream and the marathon for now. And no one else was awake except for me, having...
Yeah, I remember waking up super early because I still had to work during that week as well. I had both annual and work in the same week just because of the way that the schedules worked out. And I remember getting downstairs and somebody telling me 13 people are sick, everybody is asleep, help. I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something along those lines. But I had to get ready for work because I needed to leave not too long after. So I remember scrambling like a ragtag team of people to, you know, do something while until, you know, somebody would be awake to take over. Which was a terrible idea in hindsight, but somehow we pulled through.
It worked out. Come on, Freudia. I hate these jumps. Sometimes just don't go like they should. But yeah, that's when I think in the end Indy took over the schedule because he was actually part of BSG at the time. I just knew a few things about scheduling and stuff from our own marathon HSM.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if Indy was. I think he wasn't anymore, but he might have already been working for UKSG at the time.
I think so, yeah.
So I was like, okay, you're a UKSG organizer, you know what you're doing, please help. But yeah, it was a week. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah. And then like Indy was trying with like the handful of people that we had around that were not dying, or Wader that was dying but was still wanting to play the combo randomizer nonetheless. To get some runs together so that we could get through that afternoon until people had some some medication and were feeling a little bit better, and all of the other stuff we had to take care of on site. So yeah, this game somehow got in there with very famous Roshla butchering the name to no end as the host.
I think that's kind of where the RKFS memes started within.
Yes.
At least within the staff crew of BSG.
Yeah, that's certainly where that started on that end. And yeah, even at that point, I think I only had like 1 or 2 runs in the BSG marathon, so it wasn't that much, I want to say, compared to nowadays. But yeah, I guess like RKSF, for one thing, made itself a big name inside the BSG community that day, and I guess it also got my popularity a little bit up for, yeah, playing weird games and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, because you've submitted a lot of runs to BSG last year, right?
Yeah, ask Sida. Well, for online, I was nice to him. For online, I only submitted like 10 games and I don't know how many runs.
Yeah, because I remember, at least at a time, I don't know if you ended up having the most, but weren't you the one to have the most number of games submitted to Annual 19?
Yeah.
I think Yetzer may have taken over, but half of his got like invalidated because it didn't adhere to the rules or something.
Yeah. That was kind of thing. I think to the annual last year I submitted like 16 games with also different categories per game. I think I had like 30-ish submissions or something like that. Seed, I love you. I think that's gonna be a recurring theme as well.
Yeah, I remember this.
But yeah, man, that last annual for me. Regarding the times that I put out, yeah, not so big, sadly. Because I had a lot of stuff that actually went over estimate. Which I'm totally not used to. But yeah, we kind of skipped 19. Man. Let's get to the It's Kuko's Fault saga then, I guess.
Sure.
So yeah, like meeting Kuko the first time at the first annual of BSG. We did the commentary on that race, as we already talked about. After that, we did some recordings for somewhat bigger German streamers called the Rocket Beans for a Link to the Past randomizer race, which was a lot of fun. We were there for the whole day. I showed some things and then we did the race as well. And yeah, also in 2018, the whole saga starts in, I think it was March. Was it, Kuko?
Shall I, since we're going for the Kuko saga, shall I see if I can get him in here?
Sure.
I'm gonna, Kuko, I know you're in chat, so I know you're listening. If you are interested, hop in a voice channel. I'll confirm via DM. If you can't, that's also fine, of course. But I figured, for something like this, it might be worth it. No mic currently, sadly. Okay, well, too bad. So I guess we'll just have to tell the story.
Then it's just gonna be my side of the story, I guess. So yeah, we were in contact a lot. We weren't really doing a lot of things together, sadly, but well, just having constant contact. Then one day Kuko was like, well, like with a community that he's part of since longer. They want to do A Link to the Past co-op. No, not the co-ops that we know nowadays, but like when we actually shared information, like the one tournament that we were in together, Cruel.
Right, that's the co-op thing, right?
Yeah. But yeah, that was actually co-op, like was shown at ESA last week by Sida and Wiki, where we literally just shared information about things. And yeah, like we were in the chat, and I just joined there because of someone actually missing to make teams. And Kuko asked me like, are you still up for it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Then like being in that chat, I don't know, was it Kuko himself who was like, hey, we have another Swiss person here? And I'm like, okay, well, whatever you say, screw you guys, Swiss team. Otherwise I'm gone. So yeah, we made a Swiss team with someone that you've seen here as well over the past 2 years with runs, which is a Sharia. Yeah, so it's all Kuko's fault that we are actually together since 2.5 years and living together in the meantime and all of that jazz. So yeah, blame Kuko. That's kind of our meme internally. But yeah.
To be fair, I think that's not a thing. I imagine not a thing Kuko would mind being blamed for.
Nah, he already said he full on takes the blame in chat.
Oh yeah, I know. But I don't. Just saying, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to be blamed for. So.
Sure. That's not how it should have sounded. Even though I sometimes make joke about that. But
oh, I know.
But yeah, also in regards of the BSG people in general, like taking you, taking Wiki, taking Sida, KC, Kuko, and Rashla. I think Frosty also joined at some point for our multi-rack crew things.
I think you missed Boxmeister, didn't you?
Oh yeah! There is a box! Damn.
Can't forget about Boxmeister there.
He's actually the guy that I think joined us the most together with KC.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, also there in that regard, I have to say I made a lot of good friends here at BSG that we still very regularly, not as regularly as we used to, sadly, but still try to very regularly do things like multi-worlds or also races of different randomizers. I mean, of course, me and Dash are doing a lot of things with just the two of us, like randomizers and other jazz. But yeah, sometimes missing the guys feels bad, man. That sounded different than it should have. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But yeah, so a lot of coincidences that actually led to this game being showcased here in the way that it is. And yeah, most of them certainly are positive. Minus BSGs, but well, that happened.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that was not a... Or the event would have been a whole lot better if BSGBs had decided to stay home.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, I didn't have it, so...
Hey, you were one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, which is funny, because usually I'm one of the people that gets sick the fastest. Like, usually if, like, someone gets sick inside of a group, I'm instantly the one that gets sick second.
Right. Yeah, I tend to be lucky in that I don't usually get sick very quickly. And I kind of got lucky with the BSGBs as well by just getting it on cleanup, by cleanup day and not any earlier. But yeah,
well,
it was something.
then again, unlike most of the people, you were not around that much, quote unquote, that much, because you
Yeah,
had work that week.
I did have work that week, so I definitely was in the building less, so I guess there were also fewer chances to be exposed.
Oh hey, now that I see Raz, of course, Raz is also part of our multi-rec crew. And yeah.
Right, yeah, I kind of forgot about Ras because I think I've never played a game with Ras yet.
Yeah, I mean...
I've probably joined just about the fewest games of everyone, so no surprise there.
Disagree on that one. You were at least at our New Year's bash, like, in 19.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
That was also a story.
At the end of the turn of the year 2019 to 2020, we had another, I think it was combo rando.
Yeah, it was actually two combo randos in one day.
Yeah, so
well,
like a bunch of people, and that's kind of how when midnight struck, we weren't done, so we kind of just took a little bit of a break for an hour, and then an hour later we all continued and finished the seed.
Yeah, but I think that was also the day where people in the whole group were like, okay, that was the first, the only, and the last time we did 2 seats in one day. Because multi-world, yeah, can take quite a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I actually thought I have more to talk about in regards of BSG.
Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank as well. Okay, so did you submit anything to the next BSG annual yet?
No, actually not. That has the reason that I actually want to try get Rosenkreuzstilette the first game in, but yeah, that game is way harder than this one. And it's actually not fun. Not yet, at least. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, I imagine learning a game like this is quite difficult.
I mean...
They do not look like easy games, at least.
I mean, you can ask about every Mega Man runner, I guess. And yeah, they are not easy to learn.
That makes sense. So I'm seeing some people mention last BSG annual, and we've talked a little bit about the multi-worlds there, but there was something else, if I'm not mistaken, that you brought along that we played quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That thing. Yeah, I had the stupid idea because I saw a video from the J-Wits about a board game called Pokemon Master Trainer. And it was like, well, this is technically Monopoly for masochists. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. Give me one. And then I actually went on an odyssey in eBay to find one that was still in a somewhat good shape. I was looking for a good few days to actually find one. But yeah, actually played some rounds of that last time when there was an annual that was not at home. It was bad, man.
Yeah, I just remember we were at the BSG annual venue in the practice room. We had like a big table at the center where a lot of people would just drop off board games for like everyone to play. Kind of like a you can play with it as long as you make sure everything stays in good shape. And we must have played so many games of Master Trainer.
I kind of only got to play 2, I think, during the whole week. Also because I actually had to practice a lot of games, because that was the games weren't the problem, but like the weeks prior to that, I couldn't really practice because I had a problem on my left hand, so my left wrist. That luckily was good again around annual 19.
Right.
But yeah, to actually get all of the other games. Why did this have to happen? But yeah, to get all of the other games actually practiced properly. Especially RKSF, I didn't practice too much, and that sadly showed a little bit. At least I didn't crash the game like I did last year. Oh, that was the best panic mode that I ever had, I think.
I don't think I caught this story, so do tell.
Which story especially now?
The crashing.
Yeah, that was last year at, well, BSG at home. BSG's at home. No, wait, that's something else. That's what we have now. No, let's not talk about that. Yeah, so there are like 2 ways to crash this game, and I think one of them was not even known prior to me finding it. Can you please not be in my way? Thank you. So yeah, the very known one that a lot of people already had and have seen is the one at Schwermutter Merkel. There, if you kill her like on the frame, she wants to go down the pipe. You actually crash the game. And there is a second crash that isn't that well known. That happens at Schirach Führer. And yeah, because I didn't think I can actually do that with Pamela, because I only got it like once and I didn't know how I actually got it with Freudia, so with the character that I play now. But Pamela, the boss that we just defeated, is the second character that you can play in this game. So yeah, I managed to actually crash the game in the second to last stage I usually do with where there are only 4 stages anymore. Like I don't know how to call that, because the one with the 8 is the Roller Masters, but the ones afterwards, like the pre-Wally stages, kinda. So yeah, I went into panic mode just slightly that day during that run.
Fair enough.
And yeah, that was an experience. We actually had to halt the run for a moment, because I didn't know what to do right now, and then I actually had to go into the local WOD and see what was the code, because I didn't have a code ready for that. So yeah, that took a few minutes, and yeah, that's sadly like the whole experience with PSG 2020 at home. Because yeah, at home wasn't my marathon, seriously. I had like 5 games in there, and I had exactly 1 where I did go sub-estimate, which that's not what I expect from my own ass.
Makes sense.
Oh, Schwarzkreuz. Thanks for that rule.
So, do you have any like? Do you have a favorite moment from all of your all of the BSGs you've been to?
Well,
that's a really hard question, I know.
Yeah, the thing is, what I want to say, Sita's gonna kill me for.
Don't worry about Zeta. I'll make sure he doesn't kill you.
cause there are like two best moments in general. First of all is every time seeing Sita in person being like, my schedule! If someone goes like 5 minutes under or over. And the other instance is his face explaining what went wrong after the multi-roll race, the combo randomizer race. I cannot talk today. Because yeah, that was that was the most prime face palm I've ever seen, I think.
Right.
Cause yeah, in that race, there was Sida and Boxmaster versus Ash and me. He forgot to check something, and yeah, Boxmeister that played Super Metroid did a good chunk of out of logic checks to find something that brings them somewhere. Yeah, but Sida, like after they got the first lift upgrades, he forgot that the back of escape was in logic for his Link to the Past part, where there was actually the warrior suit, with which Box could have done most of the checks way easier than he actually had to do them at the time, and also bring a lot of more things into logic. Yeah, there are so many good moments, damn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know this is not an easy question that I'm asking you. I think all of us have... We've been at BSG, or we've been at so many events that there's just always going to be moments that stand out, and it's hard to pick one over the other.
Yeah, I mean there was also very early in the morning Lufia with you, where I was basically there asking you dumb questions so that you wouldn't fall asleep during the run.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yes, that was also a good one.
That was the 98%, wasn't it?
I think so. It was something like a 6-hour run, I think.
Yeah, I think that was 98%. 98% glitch list that I did, which is, I want to say 2017?
No.
It might have been 2018. I'm actually not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure it was 18.
Okay. Well, either way, but yeah, it was like a 6-hour run in the middle of the night somewhere, and there's lack of sleep. I vaguely remember... I remember the run going quite well, but I also remember after 3 hours being like, okay, now I don't have anything to talk about anymore. And that made it quite a bit more difficult all of a sudden.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh boy.
So this is the final boss rush, basically?
Yeah, this is the final boss rush, and I'm not doing too hard on this right now. But it's fine. You should still go well underestimate, because I did not die like an idiot so far.
You had one death.
Oh, right. I died once like an idiot then.
I mean, it seemed like one of those deaths that can happen to anyone, but, you know, if we're being fair here.
I mean...
But no, all in all, the run seems to have been going quite well.
Yeah...
I haven't really been talking much about the run, I suppose, but...
Well, I was told that that's not what you guys want to have here, so...
No, this is... it's great just reliving some of the memories with you. Just, because you've got quite a history at BSG, even if it is mostly just the annual events.
Yeah, it's actually kind of more than I thought it would give stuff to talk about, but yeah, I just thought it's gonna be less stories, but like longer ones, but it was actually a lot of stories.
I mean, to be fair, I think once you get to enough BSGs, you kind of hit a point where so many things have happened and there are so many stories to tell that it's just hard to figure out, okay, which story am I even going to tell right now?
Yeah. Yeah, and like with the Link to the Past randomizer where things happened a few times and they just like give one big picture and you kind of don't know which part is that story from again, or which story is that part from.
I mean, the coolest ones to me are still, I think I've only joined in one of those, was just the many people like all linked together in the practice room at 19, annual 19. I think there have been a few of those combo, like not, I don't know if they're combo randos, but multiplayer randos that we did there.
Yeah, that was when combo multi-world was not a thing yet, but the Zelda multi-world was.
Yeah.
And that's why we mainly played the Zelda multi-worlds. Yeah, I remember you. Like we actually asked you at the start of the event, and you were like, "Yeah, I gotta see if I have time somewhere to just do something for like 2 hours with us."
Yeah, those events take so much time sometimes.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the things that I don't mind it, but it is always a thing where whenever one of those annuals is going on, there's so much going on that I need to pay attention to.
Well, so we have final boss. This is Tia. In the first game, Rosenkreuzstilette, you actually play as her. And yeah, as I already said, the first game is that's another thing. Time is gonna come up here in just a few when the screen is completely whited out. And that's time.
Well done. That I don't know. These sort of games always.
Hey?
You always make them look so much easier than they are.
That was only 1 second above my actual official PB.
Oh wow.
Excuse me, what?
That is really close.
I mean, I had a run yesterday in practice that was 20 seconds faster. But let's see what the official tie actually says. Because I think we have these 30 seconds to do that real quick. Because the game has an actual timer. 36, 33. That's also the official timing method of this. That's pretty good. So yeah.
That's really solid, yeah. Congrats on the almost PB in a marathon.
Would have not been the first one.
Basically on par with PB in a marathon.
Yep. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks for having me for this special occasion. Very honored that I could be part of such a thing. And thanks for you also being here, Cruel, because it made talking about easier. And
no worries.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna give it back to the tech desk for the next run that is gonna come up soon.
Yeah, thank you, Yume, for joining us for RKFS. Fantastic run as always. We're gonna get our next run set up, which is by a long-time member of BSG. He's been with us since pretty much some of the earlier days, but we haven't seen much of him lately. We're gonna get ready for Adam's Family.